Now, how did we get here? I didn't organize this unit. I can't prove this, but I think the Battle of El Alamein had the basic concept of our unit of the 23rd of Deception. You'll recall in 1942, the British were pushed back in Africa all the way to Egypt, and they ran a deception operation which pulled the Germans off balance and got them to attack the weakness, which resulted in the German retreat and the beginning of the driving the Germans out of Africa. This Battle of El Alamein had the rubber dummies, the sound, the wireless that the British used. And then General Devers saw this, and I think this is why he wrote a letter to the War Department, says, we need some kind of a deception force. It came from the War Department to the Army Ground Forces. We didn't know what to do with it either. And finally, it says, you will be activated on January of 44 at Camp Forest, Tennessee. So we arrived at Camp Forest, Tennessee with our staff. That was the headquarters. And then the units under it came in separately. First, the 603rd Camouflage Battalion, then the 406th Combat Engineers and the 244th Signal. And they all needed remodeling because we didn't know what to do with them, but they did need special equipment. And anything we wanted, we could get. It was, personnel will not be requisitioned, they will be furnished. And this to me means that every one of you was specially selected. You were screened before you got into the unit. We didn't need anybody who probably would spill the beans, who wasn't trustworthy, who didn't have the intelligence to go ahead and do the job. Those are the kind of men we had under us. And our own headquarters didn't know what to do. We'd never done it before, and our whole attitude in America is we do not wish to be known as a deceitful people. But we need to do this deception in war, and now we're going to do it. Well, how do you do it? Nobody knew. And that's the way we kind of got started. We took these units, the 23rd headquarters, and it activated in January. Some of us went over 3 months in April to England. The rest of the unit came in May. That's just 4 months. Your own heater unit was activated 1 March, and 5 months later was in active combat. And likewise, the other units. We arrived piecemeal, and it was extremely confusing in Normandy when we were there. The reason it was confusing is we had no orders from higher headquarters as to what to do. We had no guidance, no any manuals. We didn't know what to do. But we did have a headquarters who knew a lot of rules and regulations. And then came the main thing that I would like to bring to you today, and that is the quality of the men in our units. They came in and said, we're going to imitate a specific unit. We can do it for a specific unit if you let us. We don't care if we falsify a general officer. We don't care if we wear the wrong shoulder patches. We don't care if we make the wrong bumper markings. And it made so much sense that we adopted our special effects program, which we added to all during the war. And we could imitate any specific unit in the theater. And it wasn't the staff that thought this through, but it was the soldiers, and it was a growing underneath the thing that made so much sense. And this is why you ought to have a real good feeling of your service in World War II. Now, each of us has a feeling that we made a contribution in this war. It's a deep feeling. It's part of every one of us. It's an honor to have that feeling. Not many have it, but we feel that we've done our duty and we have done it well. And we know we've done it well. Now, we can't quantify it, but we can talk about the quality. The reason you can't say quantify it is because you can't say how many lives did we save. Would we have lost the battle if we hadn't been there? We can't say that. It's kind of like an automobile engine. Which is most important, the spark plug, the carburetor, the valves? They all have to work in harmony. And this is like our military machine works. Everything works together. When it works together, we are successful. And this is why Mark Croman said, never have so few had such a great influence on the outcome of a major military command. So this feeling that you have deep down is a good one. You ought to honor it. You earned it, and it's really respectful. It's better than any medal that you could get, although you'd like to get those. But you in your heart know that this is what you have accomplished.